Are you a soldier in the U.S. Army, U.S. military, Navy, Air Force, Marines, Space Force, so on and so forth, and you are troubled by the obese rates that are going on in the U.S. military? Watch this video. I'll talk about what's going on and give you a little bit of my own opinion and some facts that can relate to why these issues may be occurring. Good morning, afternoon, and evening to all you wonderful people out there today. Hope everyone is doing well. Welcome to my channel, Physical Fitness and Beyond. My name is Trenton Montgomery, living exceedingly and abundantly. I hope everyone is living the same way. If not, I hope things get better for you. But today, I want to just share a little bit of my own opinion and some facts about what's going on about the obese rate in the military. Before we get into that, I just want to take the time to please, ask of me to like, share, and subscribe to my content, my videos. Hopefully, you can learn something and add it to your own personal life and physical fitness, and it can help you grow to become the best and better version of yourselves. So, today I'm talking about and discussing the obese rate in the U.S. military. Why is the obese rate in the U.S. military important to me? It's important to me as someone who serves in the U.S. Army military himself. One thing that I take pride in is physical fitness, being in shape, being ready and fit for anything and anyone and everyone to come our way, right? As a force, no matter what branch of the military you serve, whether that be Army, Air Force, Navy, Marines, Space Force, Coast Guard, so on and so forth, being physically fit, being in shape and prepared for anything, being mentally strong, physically strong, spiritually strong, and emotionally strong. Those things are important. One, because you are the essential defense of this nation, the United States of America. You are what keeps this country safe. You are the important factor, the main emphasis on why our country alone stands as one of the top, if not the best nation in this world. Why I believe our military is a powerful force, and I've seen and worked along some of the best soldiers who have come in and out during my time being in the military, almost over 7 years. I take pride in physical fitness, and I've seen others who take pride in it just as much as I do, while I've seen others who are not as prideful about their own physical fitness. And I'll get into some of those reasons of why that may be. So I read in a couple of articles, the Military Times, and I want to say USA Today article. About 70% of the military, you have soldiers who are over the obese rate. From 2020 to 2021, I want to say the percentage of people who went over the BMI percent of 10% up to 21.4% was the actual numbers that had occurred in between those 2 years. And some may relate it to the pandemic issues where you were constantly indoors. You weren't able to go out and train, lift, run, swim, do whatever you needed to do during that time frame of being in shape, being healthy. You obviously had the COVID-19. You had the thing, the whole issue with wearing a mask, getting the shots, and then being able to follow rules and mandates in order for you to get your freedoms back and even go to work, right? Whoever thought going to work would be, something that you'd be, proud of, and it would be a privilege, right? But in this country, but that's over and done with. I don't want to get too much into the political aspect around of that. When it comes to being in the military, I take pride in being physically fit, mainly due to the fact that you want to be fit, you want to be trained and well prepared for anything, just as much as you're out shooting weapons, rifles, pistols, tanks, Bradleys, so on and so forth, javelins. The list goes on and on. You want to be able to carry your weapons, carry each other, be able to outlast the enemy, get from point A to point B without having to slow down and have an excuse of your battle buddies not being in shape, being overweight, and not being able to carry and hold their own weight. As an NCO, I take pride in it. I definitely take the time to train my Joes, work with them, even during their off hours, because it's essential to your everyday lives. Why is being physically fit important? It's important because of the simple fact, for one, let's just take away the Army's sake. Being physically fit should be something you care about for your own mental, physical, and spiritual health's sake. If you're not physically fit, you run around with all these back issues, heart issues, mental health issues, and you're not doing anything to take care of yourself, you know, you're only hurting and hampering yourself, right? Now you bring it over to the Army sector or the military sector, right? And let's say you're in a situation where you have to go to combat, and you're not physically in shape. You're not, you know, able to run over 2 miles without, having to take a break, and you're huffing and puffing. You got to carry, what's on your back or even in your vehicles. As a tanker, I've heard people say, "Well, I'll be inside of a tank." You never know what could come your way. I'll be okay. As long as I'm inside a tank, I'll be okay. But as we all know, in this recent war we had in the Middle East and Iraq, tanks weren't even there. Soldiers were no longer in tanks. So how did they adjust? I'm pretty sure that they adjusted by hitting the gym, running, and doing what they needed to do to be on ground for combat action, right? So I say that to my fellow soldiers. This is not a video or rant to tear anyone down, but physical fitness is very key. It's essential to our everyday lives, how we live, how we carry ourselves as soldiers and everyday men and women who serve in the military. I'm proud of it simply because of the fact that when people come up and they say thank you for your service, thank you for all you do, they don't know the hours that go into preparing our vehicles, preparing ourselves for combat, preparing ourselves for the mission for whenever and whomever is called upon to go and serve that mission. When it comes down to it, you want to be prepared for anything. I've heard leaders of my own that I've worked with, be in positions, my rank or even higher, say, physical fitness, even if you barely just pass, the ACFT, it's okay for us to be overweight, and as long as we hit a certain score. And I disagree with that to an extent, because now the Army is saying as long as you hit 540, and if you're overweight and you can pass the ACFT, then it should be okay. Well, in reality, I think we should reverse that. Back in 2013, when I first joined the United States Army, when physical fitness was very key and was important compared to now, I would say when it came to taking the APFT, the Army Physical Fitness test, you, at a bare minimum, I would say that the fastest you could run your 2 mile was around 15, 30 to 17 minutes. And obviously, as you got older, or as you get older, your time starts to slow down. Obviously, based on your age, and obviously, if you're ranking up doing the right thing, that'll help you get along in the long run. But now it's around 22 minutes, and it's like we're dropping standards to where we're making it easier for people to pass just to keep people in. At the end of the day, some people have thrown in excuses like, long hours of work, stress, excessive training. And while I think that those things are important, we should sit down with our leaders and talk about ways to dissolve those issues and to take care of the guys, take care of the men and women that serve. Yes, it's imperative, to get the rest, the hours we need to recover and to make up for the hours we do put in to prepare for anything and everything that may come our way. We also need to take pride in ourselves and understanding that no one's going to take better care than you or of you than you, right? And I say that to say, yes, you can barely pass, an ACFT, and yes, you somehow, are a few pounds or 10, 20 pounds over the weight limit. What I say to that is you have to look at what's important as far as your health's sake. And to me, it's almost like we're not caring enough about our own health's sake to where we look at our everyday tasks and duties, and we say that PT should not be an important thing. I've heard a few soldiers here and there, say that. And my main thing is, if you were called upon right now, and they say you gotta get gear up, you gotta go to war, you gotta go to combat, and you're someone that is not as fast in the run, you're one to quit and give up. You're not as strong. You're not mentally strong enough. You're only gonna hurt not just you but your team, right? Every aspect of the Army, in some way, some form or fashion, is important. While we'll argue that some things could change as far as the APFT or ACFT, we should do what we can to push soldiers to become and to be the best or to be all that they can be, instead of lowering standards to where soldiers do not meet requirements or are not in shape, are not prepared for anything. As grown men and women, we sign on a dotted line saying that we're going to serve this country. At least take pride in your physical fitness. Take pride in who you are as a person for your own sake. Right? This physical fitness, ACFT, is to show your commander, your command team, that you're in shape, that you're prepared for anything, and whatever else, are the reasons. But when I look at being in shape, I don't use the stress or other excuses. There are ways to manage stress. There are ways to talk to people. There are ways to go about things. Yes, there's a high suicide rate. There is a rate of individuals who, somehow they go AWOL or whatever the case may be. But at the end of the day, I'm just saying to my fellow soldiers, men and women, when it comes to being in shape, take pride in being in shape. Take pride in who you are. I will shout out to those who do hit the gym, who are constantly out running. This video is not aimed at you, but this video is to encourage others that in order for us to be prepared, in order for us to be ready for anything, we can't use the excuses of not wanting to take an ACFT, lowering standards, and saying that shooting for the bare minimum is okay, right? You should always want to be the best that you can be at whatever it is you're doing. And if you don't like it, serve as long as you can or need to. And, just understand, the Army's not something that you're obligated to do, but at the same time, it's not something that I would force onto others. When it comes to being in shape, I'm just saying, look at it from your own standpoint of living, right? I know family members who have lost their lives due to being obese, having excessive weight, barely being able to move, barely being able to get around and take good care of themselves. So I'm just saying, don't be one of those people. Take care of you. Take good care of your health. Your health is important just as much as that paycheck that you make, right? And one thing that I will honestly say, lastly, to those who struggle with the ACFT, there's leaders like myself who are willing to help. If you don't know someone in your company or your platoon or even your battalion, there's lots of soldiers out there you can work with. There's all kinds of programs. There's fitness trainers that don't serve in the Army, that are VOD contractors, right? That go to your Army gyms, that I'm sure would be willing to help you to get in shape and to do what you need to do. But I'm saying this not as a rant, and not as something to talk down to people, but to say, simply take care of you, all right? The Army has a lot that it throws our way. I'm not saying the Army's perfect. I'm saying, yes, the Army can be better at some things, but what I am saying is for your own sake of physical fitness and health, take care of you. No one's going to take care of you better than you, all right? And lastly, continue to be the best version of yourself. At the end of the day, you're only going to serve, whether you serve 3 years, 5 years, 10, or 20 years. You're only going to serve here for a limited amount of time. You're not going to be here for your whole life and duration. Understand that there is life outside of the Army. But while you're in, set yourself up for success any way, in the best way that you can, and always strive to be the best you that you can be, not just in uniform, but out of uniform as well. All right? So let's do what we can, get in shape, let's encourage each other. I'm one that likes to encourage others. I don't mind working out with a soldier, taking a soldier out, on a run or something, hitting the gym. I love that kind of stuff. I get into it because at the end of the day, I give back in a sense to help others, encourage others to grow, and I feel like it's a sense of purpose for me. So, God bless you all. Take care of yourself, and I hope that you guys continue. I hope you don't take this message to heart, but take it as a sign of someone that cares and someone that is just reaching out to say, let's take care of us. You know, it's one thing for us to talk about those that are making the decisions, but understand if we're out serving and we're, you know, implementing that plan and putting it into play, at least take care of you so that you can give yourself the best advantage you can to come back home, or even just in general, just live the best, healthiest life as much as possible. God bless y'all. Take care. Charge hard and stay flexible. And keep getting after it. Go crush those goals.